Welcome everyone to Kitchen Innovation, where you'll find new ways to cook traditional food, or any kind of food for that matter, through simple techniques, methods, recipes, cookware and appliances you may already have or been thinking about getting, and using them to their fullest potential at home to prepare and cook delicious meals, such as crispy, delicious golden brown fried chicken. Here's a little twist on an old idea of cooking the southern favorite, using Cornish game hens, and a few appliances you may or should have in your kitchen, such as a pressure cooker, portable fryer, and an air fryer or convection oven, which are essentially the same thing. But this technique for frying chicken is more than just a bunch of hot air. It's designed to make it easier to cook, just once, and then have a fresh tasting meal every time you crave fried chicken, without all the mess and bother and that leftover again feeling. If you're one of those people who love both white and dark meat, then this is the method for you, since you can get the whole flavor of the chicken in just one portion. Let's start with 3 Cornish game hens, which are about a pound each, cut in half with the backbones removed. You can cut out the backbone and even the wishbone, or leave them in. It's up to you. Using this method, you can prepare as many hens as you like for storage and later use. First, let's make the brine for the chicken. I recommend an all-purpose cure and brine mix for this, but you can just use kosher salt and sugar, which is what it really is anyway. For 3 hens, you should use about 3/4 cup to a cup of water. Next, add a half a cup of tomato juice, 4 tablespoons of powdered buttermilk. You can use buttermilk, but I use powdered for cooking, as it's a little easier to keep in the cupboard. A squeeze of lemon juice, and a squeeze of orange juice. Then just mix or blend together in a blender or by hand in a bowl, and pour it over the chicken in a large gallon storage bag with the brine marinade covering all of the hens and all of the air squeezed out. Then just place the bag in the refrigerator for about 3 to 12 hours, rotating it occasionally to get the best results, or you can vacuum seal them in a container or a vacuum seal bag for about 12 or 30 minutes respectively. Once the hens have been fully marinated in the brine mix, just pour the entire contents of the bag into the pressure cooker, spacing the hens out in the liquid. It's okay to use the brine liquid since you are only using it to build pressure and continue the flavoring. You won't be eating the chicken at this point, or using the marinade any further. The more chicken you have, the more marinade you will have, so don't worry if they're all crowded together or a little stacked. They will cook just fine. Set the cooker on high pressure for 3 minutes and then manually release the pressure. You can also use a slow cooker on high for about a half hour if you don't have a pressure cooker. This method will further infuse all those flavors into the chicken after the brining without overcooking them before flash frying. When the pressure has released, carefully place the hens on a rack for cooling and drying. They've only cooked under pressure for a few minutes, so they should stay intact. After they have cooled, it's time to flash fry them in a fryer or a pan if that's all you have. But now let's make the breading for the hens. First, dust the chicken with flour and a little salt, lemon pepper, and baking powder, covering all sides. Let them sit while we make the batter mixture, which will consist of 2 cups of flour, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of powdered milk, 1 tablespoon of clarified butter, and a bottle of your favorite cold beer. Mix the ingredients thoroughly until it just runs off the whisk, leaving a thin coating. Take the floured chicken and dip them into the batter and place them on a tray coated with flour. You will next add a half and half mixture of flour and cornstarch and fully cover all sides of the hens with just the right amount of breading to give it a crispy yet flaky crust when fried. Let them sit for about 15 minutes to allow all the batter to set. Now drop them in a portable fryer which has been set to the highest setting, 1 or 2 at a time for about a minute 30 seconds, just to get a nice crisp yellow or tan color. Portable fryers are becoming more affordable and they're easy to clean and maintain, so it's a great appliance to have for quickly frying your favorite food. Once you have flash fried all of the hens, place them on a cooling rack or a piece of freezer or parchment paper, making sure they are spaced apart and not touching each other. This is the perfect time to season them with your favorite seasoning, while the oil is still hot, as the seasoning will more easily stick to the breading. Let them cool a bit, and then you can place the tray in the freezer for a few hours or until the outside is completely frozen. When they have been flash frozen just enough, put them in a gallon freezer bag and place them back in the freezer for future use. This is a great way to cook and store many meals ahead, saving you lots of meal prep time just by pre-cooking all of the pieces at once instead of every time you want a good fried chicken meal. You can prepare and store as much as you have room for. When the day arrives where you want to cook a fried chicken dinner, you can just take out as many pieces as you need to cook, whether it's just a single meal or a full family. Let it thaw ahead of time, maybe the night before in the refrigerator, or in the oven on the thaw frozen setting when you are ready to cook. Just spread out a sheet of aluminum foil, big enough to cover the amount of hens you want to cook. For the purpose of this video, we will do just one, but you can do this with as many as you want. The sheet of foil and the chicken should be coated with cooking spray. Then fold the foil around the chicken piece, forming a pouch or bowl around the outside like so. If you think it's too thin, just use another sheet of foil for more support. You can use the air fryer without the foil in the fryer basket, but I'm going to show you how to use the foil bowl method in this infrared convection oven, mainly because it is pretty inexpensive these days as far as kitchen appliances go, and is very versatile and can hold quite a bit of food. Now, place the foil wrapped chicken on the bottom rack in the center, allowing an equal distribution of heat from the lamp and good airflow inside and around the pouch. Then cook the chicken on the highest setting to your desired crispiness. Just make sure you cook it long enough for the internal temperature to reach 160 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit and allow for all the batter to cook thoroughly, avoiding any gooey mess inside. Your times may vary, but try 10 to 15 minutes on your first time and then adjust it according to your taste for the following cooks. You can rotate it occasionally to evenly cook all sides and get a crispy golden brown texture. When it is crisp to your satisfaction, just take the edges of the foil and wrap it over the hen, forming a tent. Let it set for about 5 minutes, still in the oven, before serving. This will allow it to get even more tender and juicy inside. If you have lots of pieces, just use another sheet of foil to cover. And that's all there is to it. Now everyone can have that ever so coveted big piece of chicken, or more specifically, whole flavored half piece of chicken, with this great way to cook a crispy, delicious, tender and juicy fried Cornish game hen. Whether it's a single portion or a family picnic, you'll find this innovative technique is simple, easy to do, and time-saving for anyone, anytime. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more kitchen innovation.